Live. How's everyone doing? All right, I'm just giving it a little bit of time for everybody to catch up, to get in. We're going to do the news in just a second. We have some interesting stuff. So, alrighty. We have a couple pieces of important news to cover first, and then we'll jump into the regularly scheduled news for all of you. Just going to give one more minute for people to filter in that may want to. All right. So, the very first thing, I'm going to I'm going to actually be amazingly busy this week bringing you this first piece of news. Um do you want to know what is the best AI? If you do, next Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be going over what is the best AI. We're making experiments all this week. We already started on some of the experiments, and yeah, we're going to document it. So you should join in, be a part of the experiment, give some feedback. It's going to be an iterative process. You're welcome to join us to making it better. So you should do that. I made this tweet. If well, if my screen sharing would work. 1 second. That's hmm. 1 second. That doesn't seem to be working. Now does it? That's a black screen. How are you all doing? Welcome. Let me check this out. Well, there we go. The news is back. There we are. Fixed it. Good old unplug and plug it back in again. Works every single time. Works every single time. All right, so if you'd like to help out spreading the word, I would be really appreciative if you shared this with anybody that you think would be interested in joining us. So, yeah. Anyways, just do that. I'll tweet again about it both on Friday, so if you want to share that tweet, and then again on Saturday morning about half an hour before we go live, that would be wonderful. Share those as well. All right. Google pulled another classic Google move. And I wanted to share it, be the first to share. One of the things that I found really, really nice, I just set up a thing where I got an email for the Null Labs, because I'm rebranding as Null Labs because I'd like us to be exploring and inventing and understanding stuff. I think it'll be nice. But that being said, one thing that was really nice that I used Google for, I trusted Google, was that I registered a domain with them and got my email through them, and I didn't have to deal with all the domain stuff or anything like that. I merely just bought the domain and got email through them, which was really nice. Very, very convenient. Is it Google's Ministry of Product Destruction? Absolutely, Russell. I loved Google Domains. It was one of the simplest, one of the easiest, and it just worked with the rest of Google's suite. So basically, if you had a Google domain, it worked with Gmail. So again, I actually, because I wanted my emails to be a little bit more official, I registered Null Labs as a domain through Google Domains, and I got email through Gmail. So you could email me, and so that I could do business through that, even though this isn't really business. It's just some news. But anyways, it was really convenient. But from, I guess, July on, I forget the exact date, Squarespace enters definitive agreement to acquire Google Domains assets, and they're spinning down Google Domains. I found this in a couple different places. Google Domains to shut down as assets get sold to Squarespace. I'm really, really bummed. I mean, I guess I don't expect less from Google, but it's what I get for trusting Google with another project. Now, I know we usually do security first, but I had to talk about this because it's a classic Google. Google's product, Ministry of Product Destruction, the MPD, definitely has been added again. And yeah. So as far as security goes, though, there wasn't a whole lot of things. So the biggest news in security, which doesn't directly affect you, there's no product that I think a lot of us use, but the U.S. government was actually hit by a series of cyber attacks. So the U.S. government agency hit by global cyber attack. This one goes into it was via a file transfer tool that they were using, and this is be careful with the tools that you use. This wasn't a particularly bad tool to use. There was just a 0 day in the tool, and because there's a 0 day, you're vulnerable, which is why the layers of security is so important. Yeah. The other actually, this is good. This is good. Let me pull that up. I should have pulled this up. Killed by Google. Google Domains is up on there. Nice. Some of these aren't as big as other ones. Google Domains really surprised me. Like, Domains, Grasshopper, were kind of some of the big ones that kind of surprised me this year. Let's see. Stardia is another one. I mean, Google is... Okay, and some of these I disagree with, like YouTube Originals. Like, okay, it's not quite the same, but yeah, we get the idea here. Google, this one and Grasshopper were the ones that surprised me the most. I actually really liked Grasshopper, so... Yeah, and their domains, like, I really liked them. I actually paid for Google domains even though they were more expensive, just because how easily they integrated into the Google Suite and how easy it was to manage DNS through them. Like, part of my biggest problem with this was, like, even if, let's say they were just breaking even, like they weren't actually making revenue off of it, I think it was a decent draw for like why to use Gmail. Literally, this is why I got Gmail email with my Null Labs, was because I just wanted something simple and I just wanted it to be done. Which means as soon as my month is up that I have to pay for, I'll probably switch, because I don't want Squarespace with my so I'll probably have to just transfer my domain. And I'll probably switch from using Gmail to something a little bit more privacy centered, because there's just not a draw for me to use it anymore. Because the whole idea was that it was just a one product base, one login to manage everything, which was really nice. It just was really nice. I'm very upset about it. Very upset. So, and yeah, it was even more expensive. It was literally more expensive. And I still pay. I mean, it wasn't that much more expensive than other registers, but it was. Like for .io, it was $60 instead of $40 at other registers. Like, oh well. On a more interesting note of hacking, this one was interesting. I'm going to actually share this article. I'm no hacker, but we do have a resident hacker who scores in the top 500, notoriously. Top 500 team, and it's a single person, which is pretty awesome. This hacker steals cryptographic keys by video recording power LEDs 60 feet away. Now, I don't know. I haven't gone. There's this research here that goes into video-based crypto analysis, which I really need to dive into because I find this to be very interesting. I've only watched a very little bit of this, and I want to read the whole paper. But I think you guys might like that. So, anyways, there's the article. Yeah, put duct tape over your Power LEDs. That is the layer of security. You find a Power LED, you put a little piece of duct tape over it. Your keys are safe then. See, duct tape fixes everything. Like, people say it's just because I'm from Kentucky that I use duct tape, but I mean, top 500 CTFT means can operate your browser dev tools. Okay, so just like we're doing the AI games next week, Russell, I want to do a CFT stream at some point. So for one of these that comes up, I'd like to join a team and do it on stream. I think that would be fun. So keep me in the loop. It'd have to be a team that's okay with a person that knows basically how to open browser tools, maybe less well than other people. But I can figure out how to open browser tools. Because I think that would be fun. All right, let's jump into cloud news. All right, so introducing simplified end-to-end TDER for Chronicle. This was by Google Cloud. So we're going to do Google Cloud first. I tried to switch it up so that doesn't seem to be a biased, even though I'm super biased. So TDER is basically threat detection and anything to do with investigations into those types of things. I think the R is for response. Threat detection, investigation, response, maybe. I think that's what TDER stands for. Google has a CFT coming, or CTF coming up. CFT, sorry. When is it? You have to hack in and shut products down. Oh, that might go beyond my my abilities to contribute. That might go beyond. Yeah. So, but talking about that, I mean, I would probably be up for doing it, especially if it was open during a weekend. I can maybe take a day off to work on it as well. I think it would be good for adding to my skill set. It's a skill set that I need to develop a little bit more. Anyways, Google is adding products for their security, investigations, threat analysis, and the 23rd and 25th of June. Okay. Post a link. I'll have to, I might be able to do that one. I might. So anyways, this is going to help you in Google Cloud investigating, responding to, and detecting threats in your cloud space. So yeah, detect with confidence, investigate with full context, respond with speed and precision, simplify data ingestion. So anyways, I'm glad to see improvements coming in this space. It's very important. Oh, that was just me investigating. But all right, introducing clients authorization with mutual TLS on Google Cloud load balancing. This is something I have asked AWS for. So basically, with an AWS load balancer, you can't have MTLS. Basically, you just have to trust the application load balancer. That's where it's at. Now, AWS can tell you that they can prove that it's secure and safe, and that's all fine and good and dandy, I guess. But it would be much nicer to have front-end mutual TLS. I just think that this would be fantastic to have. So anyways, I'm really glad, like, going on this line of security from their end-to-end TDER to this mutual TLS for Google Cloud load balancing. I think that's really awesome, and I'm glad to see it. And then you can see here, they didn't give us anything new. So the writer for this blog post either didn't have anything for this last week, or they just didn't write it. So with that being said, we'll look at this. We have this capture the flag going out. Okay. I'll have to see I'll have to see if there's a team that will take me. And the 23rd to 25th, I'll have to see if that weekend works for me, or if that is a weekend. Hopefully it's a weekend. I can't do that. That's next weekend. That's my AI weekend. I can't do it next weekend. So next weekend doesn't work for me. But we do have a list of other ones. We do have a list of other ones. So we'll find another one to join. There's quite a few. So we'll find another little one to join. Cool. And I'll do another weekend stream, maybe in August. July, I really want to get the demo or the proof of concept of the Null cloud out. So I don't want to be bothered by too much of that because I really like my Twitch alerts to be powered by that. So I feel like August would be a good thing to take another weekend to do something with. So that sounds good. We'll find one in August. All right, let's move on to Azure. Azure had a couple things, really two things, but it came out as more than two things, but you'll see it. So IT Service Management Center connector now is certified with Service Mesh Utah. I don't know. I just found this to be interesting on Utah version. I don't know what that means. I guess maybe Utah has a different IT service management connector. Or is Utah some other service that they have? I brought this up because I just didn't understand. Like the Utah version. Okay. Anyways, other than that, it's a great week for Go developers in Azure Cloud. If you're a Go developer and you wanted to be in Azure Cloud, and this is why I said it looks like a lot more than it is. Azure released their SDKs for Go for a bunch of things. So there was a couple that I don't even have here because it was just like more little things, but like Azure Q Storage SDK for Go, Azure Blob Storage SDK for Go, Azure Event Hub SDK for Go. You get the picture. A lot of SDKs for Go for Azure things. So if you're a Go developer and you've been missing these things, you definitely have quite a few resources for Go now, which is really good. And they've hit general availability. I haven't been tracking these, so I'm guessing that they've been in alpha or whatnot for a little while. Alpha, beta, whatnot, but they're general available now, so that's awesome. Now, it wasn't all good news for Microsoft over the last week. They were hit by a DDoS attack. So Microsoft Azure portal down following new claims of DDoS. Other articles actually came out and said that it was a DDoS by Anonymous Sedan, who at least took credit for it. So Microsoft portal was down for a little while. But do you know what? It wasn't only Microsoft Azure's portal that went down. Now, that was because of a DDoS attack, which doesn't speak highly of Azure's ability to mitigate DDoS attacks, but truth be told, it has mitigated large DDoS attacks. So I'm a little interested in why this didn't actually get mitigated by their DDoS protection. But the AWS console also went down. Now, AWS has not come out and said what caused this, but there was a wide-ranging outage of AWS. And if you check their health, you can see in West Virginia or North Virginia, I don't know why I said West Virginia, North Virginia, a lot of services were down. Amazon API Gateway, you can go through here. AppStream had limited availability. Amazon Athena, all on the 13th of June. You have a lot of stuff happening in North North Virginia. So I'm actually looking for, usually AWS will do a breakdown, a retrospective on these, and usually they're really informative and you can learn a lot from them. So I'm gonna be watching for that. Hopefully we see something out of them that talks about what caused the outage. So all right. Also in Amazon news, there wasn't a ton of stuff, but Amazon Connect contact lenses now offers screen recording. So I don't know. I don't use Amazon Connect lens, but it provides screen recording capabilities, making it easy for your help agents to improve their performance. So yeah. I don't know if you're using it. Have fun with it. Maybe more important, we talked about AWS clean rooms a while ago, and they're adding 2 new capabilities to make it easier to collaborate at scale. So if you don't remember, I don't know, it's been a little while now that AWS came out with their clean rooms. Yeah, it's been a little while. So one of the things that they added was the ability to have like a guided UI that helps business users generate insights without writing any code. Previously, you had to write some code and things like that, which was pretty cool. The other thing that they added was they can now use CloudFormation templates to create, update, and delete their collaborations. People don't realize like these things have to be added to CloudFormation. So CloudFormation usually lags really brand new services. Now, I was kind of surprised myself that CloudFormation hasn't supported this by now, because clean rooms have been out for a while. But now if you're using CloudFormation, you can use clean rooms. So that was pretty much it for AWS. Didn't have too much more going on with that. And yeah. Did you guys see anything else? I forgot to start this week, the week's news off with a big shout out to all the engineering fathers out there, engineering dads. It's Father's Day here in the United States. So make sure, no matter where you live, call your dad. Tell him thanks for all the good things that he did. Hopefully. Yeah. I called my dad yesterday because I always know that I forget on the day of. You know, like, I will remember it's my sister's birthday for the entire month of January, but the day it happens, I forget every single time. It is the worst. All right, let's move on to machine learning for a little bit. Probably the biggest... I'm not going to say this was the biggest news. I'm not going to say this is the biggest news, but maybe, oh well, whatever. Some pretty big news in the machine learning this last week was that AMD launches a new data center AI chips, which is kind of a combination between their EPYC chip and their GPU chip in one chip. That was kind of my understanding of it. And they're looking at providing this for data centers. And as we saw last week, people are actually looking to diversify their AI technologies in their data centers a little bit, especially for supply chain reasons. So anyways, we can be watching that. They say that their chip can run generative AI models that run up to 80 billion parameters. So that's really, if one chip can run a model up that is up to 80 billion, that's actually pretty amazing. I don't know exactly what they mean by that. Can they train an 80 billion parameter with one chip, or can they serve that, or what do they mean? It's a little vague, a little unclear. Yeah. Now, not necessarily news, but a fantastic article. So, one of the things is next year, I would like to do what I'm doing with Rust for AI. I've been loving to learn more about the math behind AI and some of the things around it. And also just a little bit of education of what AI actually is. Anyways, for that, I find these articles and I like to share them with you guys, which was an interesting topic about how you can use transformers effectively for time series forecasting. Something that they're not intrinsically placed with being good at. Now, interesting here. I found this article. Microsoft AI introduces Orca, a 13 billion parameter model that learns to imitate the reasoning process of large foundation. Large foundation model. I consider a large foundation model to be something over like the 50 billion parameters. I don't know that there's a clear stake in the ground where that actually is. But anyways, so basically they tried to make a smaller model that has the ability to expand its I'm going to say thought process, but please don't take that the wrong way. It doesn't have thought. But to wire itself in such a way that it can kind of reach up towards those LFMs. Yeah. Now, that being said, I then found this article the morning after. OpenAI and Microsoft aren't happy. Now, this is the opinion of a person, but I found it kind of interesting. And I see some resonance here where Microsoft pushes a lot of OpenAI stuff. In fact, if you were to see Microsoft's, actually, let me bring that up really quickly, because there was more than just that one article that I saw there. If you went to Azure's blog, you can see like all the posts. Mercedes-Benz enhances driver's experience with Azure OpenAI service. Azure and OpenAI service. 10 ways generative AI is transforming businesses. And it goes on and on. So anything in here, unlock new insights with Azure OpenAI service. And this is talking about OpenAI. Basically, they provide it through Azure. And then you see this article with, Orca and the conflict. And so it made this article ring more true to me. Again, this is an opinion of a person who wrote it. But it seems plausible. Because Microsoft is really pushing this OpenAI because they have a large stake in it, 49% to be exact. They have a very large stake in it. But Microsoft itself has teams like Orca that have AI stuff as well. They don't just have OpenAI. They have generative, or not just generative. I think some of the craze is around the generative ChatGPT style things. But they have a lot of their own AI stuff, and Microsoft tends not to tout theirs. And that article was just saying there's conflict between Microsoft proper teams, OpenAI teams, what they're doing and how they're doing it. Anyways, I thought it was interesting. Now, a certain person at Meta had strong words. Artificial intelligence is not yet as smart as a dog, Meta AI chief says. So I found this to be interesting because I'm not even sure I would have compared it to a cat, and I don't think cats are near. And look, let me be clear. I have several cats. Cats are not nearly as smart as dogs. Not nearly as smart as dogs. As a cat owner, I can say this for sure. I would say they're also not as smart as chickens, and chickens are by far the dumbest things that I have ever seen. But they actually have thought, which our current AI doesn't actually have thought. If our current AI had thought in the way that a chicken does, I would be more scared of it. I would say the possibility is there. It actually has thought. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's not a good thought, but it has thought. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. Another article you should read if you're looking at generative AI. I found this very interesting because generative AI is actually kind of an interesting concept because one of the things is they want it to be fuzzy on purpose. They want you to be able to ask the same question and get a slightly different response on purpose. Anyways, that being said, this goes into how these different things grew and the different branches that they came off of, which is really cool. Also, I love the fact that they put open source and closed sourced in here. So like you can see like Code X here is closed source, and you can see like Llama from Meta is open source, and you can see that it's a decoder only. There's encoder onlys, there's encoder decoders, and again, like I said, I'm hoping next year to actually go into making a course on understanding all of this because I think it's really cool. I myself am learning a lot of this as well, but I think this was a really fantastic article. So did I put it in chat? I did put it in chat. So if you're interested in like the history, and I actually think a lot of times it's good to understand the history because like you could start to learn decoder only and look at like Llama. But why did we get here? Why did Bard, GPT-4, Llama, Jurassic 2, why did they get here? You know, a lot of instincts would be like, yeah, encoder decoder is better. But why does this seem to be the path everybody's going? I think it's really important for your understanding and also understanding of what this will do versus some of these other type of things. So anyways, very cool. You should read it if you're interested into it. That being said, they have Llama set here as open source, and Meta says once companies, they make money off of its open source AI in challenge to Google, which is really cool, but I cannot find access to Llama. I have been dying to run Llama locally. I cannot find it. So if you do find it and you know where to find it, please let me know. I think that's like the next iteration of my Twitch alerts is to actually run our own AI, but I haven't found it yet. So anyways. This has, what should I call it? Blockchain feelings to me. Does anybody else get that feeling? If we get true thinking AI and they have access to manufacturing, it's game over. Age of Ultron, but without Avengers. Yeah. Yep, no Avengers. Just Age of Ultron. The thing is, we don't have things that think, and I need to make a video on it. I don't have the time right now to make a video on it. But I have an idea for a video that tries to explain it to the common person, like what it's actually doing. The thing that we have right now doesn't think. That's probably a bigger problem. That's probably a bigger problem, Russell. That's probably a bigger problem. That's not one I can help with. I'm sorry. I mean, I do my part to try, but yeah. All right. This feels like Do you remember in, what was it, 2019, when there was a drink company that put blockchain on the name, like Long Island blockchain or something stupid like that, and their valuation doubled overnight? That's what this stinks of. And I think this reeks of that. AI company raises record $113 million just a month after being founded, despite having no product and only just hiring staff. Now, maybe they have a really cool idea. Maybe they have some brilliant people behind this. But starting a company is very risky, has a lot of issues, and even some of the best ideas, like, I don't know, Google Domains, goes under after 9 years. I'm really salty about that. Like, they just took my money like 3 weeks ago. Anyhow, this feels like the blockchain craze. It feels like people that are just dying to get a piece of the pie, not understanding. I feel bad because I feel like people are going to lose a lot of money. Now, thankfully, these people are probably not the people. These people are probably the people that can lose money. The worst thing, though, is that these people, when they do lose money, they stop buying other things, which hurt people that can't lose money in the end. So it's a trickle-down effect. Anyways, that's it for what I saw about AI. Did you guys see anything else in AI? I have a few other things that came up that I saw. I found something about Debian that piqued my interest. I found something about Z Industries that we'll talk about that was just confusing at best, and a new database project written in Rust. Yeah, that's actually another excellent point, Russell, is that these people here could be people that are misinformed, people who are managing pension funds, which really hurts. Absolutely. This is what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people will look at these and be like, oh, well, it's a billionaire who will lose $1 billion maybe, or let's say they'll lose 13 million, but they already have, 100 million. So that 13 million hurts them, but they're still rich, whatever. But there's pension funds. There's a bunch of different things that invest in some of these. And you might even not invest directly, but maybe your investment is in something that does invest in these. So it trickles down to the people that it does hurt in the end. You know what? That's like how it works. Guess what? If rich people stop buying yachts, the people that build yachts go out of business, which not everybody involved in building a yacht, like the engines and whatnot, are rich people. So yeah, anyways, it just trickles down. But yeah, this could be pension funds, whatever. Hopefully it's not a pension fund. This is a ridiculous amount of money for a company that doesn't exist. I do believe it's a complete record as far as no product's been made. They literally didn't make a proof of concept. Like, it's just, we have an idea. It's AI. You know what? I wish I didn't have such morals, because I kind of want to try that. Be like, okay, better yet, I don't just have an AI product. The blockchain of AI. All right? That's what we're doing. The blockchain of AI. That's what I would take to investors. I'd stomp this 13 million. It'd be like $500 million at least. But I don't scam people. So. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to something a little bit more family friendly. Debian 13 gets its code name. Plans official support for RISC-V. So, I was excited about Debian 13. Debian has been one of those long-standing distributions. It's not everybody's favorite, but it is, I have never run Debian as a desktop. Oh, I'm sorry, Russell. I'm sorry if that was confusion. 113 million probably doesn't come from one person. So I'm saying, like, even if you were talking about that millionaire, like, that just put 13 million, the whole thing was 113 million, but the 113 million probably didn't come from one person unless it was BlackRock, or Jeff Bezos or Musk, or Bill Gates. That 113 million probably didn't come from one source. I don't know the largest chunk, but the largest chunk might only be 13 million. Not sure. Really not sure. But I apologize for that confusion. It is a lot of money, 113 million that they got for it. Yeah. So yeah, anyways, Debian has been a long-standing one. I really do like Debian for what it does. I think that it's a great base to build another distribution off of. So Ubuntu is a classic one that's built off of this fantastic solid base. And then there's ones that are built off of Ubuntu. So like Pop! OS is inherently built off of Debian because it's built off of Ubuntu, which is then built off of Debian, which gives a great platform for base packages. But the other thing that it does is it gives a great server platform. I have run Debian as a server, and I think that it's a fantastic little server package. And it's really been a long-standing open source distribution. You can look at your Red Hats, which are kind of open source, but Debian is really, really pushing the open source there. It's been just Debian, just open source. So anyways, love to see support for them. Love what they're doing with Debian 13, bringing in native RISC-V support. So I think that's a huge step. Yeah. So anyways, I'm happy about it. So anyways, just wanted to point it out. Debian 13 is in the works, and that's awesome. This was interesting. I saw this. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I'm going to post it so you guys can read it. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Building a platform that open sources itself. For more than a year, Zed's remote team has been coding together in Zed. Okay. Instead of reviewing diffs, we usually prefer to have conversations about code. Efficient dialogue about any line in the code base has become an important capability of our team. So important, in fact, that we really want to scale it. We've decided to build a platform designed for open sourcing itself. We've decided to open source Zed on Zed. So my understanding is you can't go and clone this repository any way that you'd like. The code doesn't exist out there, but you can get on Zed and find the code for Zed. That's my understanding. Now, what I don't understand is the license that goes with this, because again, they don't release it. You can't go find the repository. I tried to find the repository. Maybe I'm misinformed. And so what access do you actually have to it? I don't know. That industry sounds like a company from DC Universe where the baddies work who Superman is fighting. So anyways, it's a little weird. Does anybody use Zed? I know that there's a beta. I've thought about trying it. You guys know that I love Rust. The biggest thing, that reason I haven't used Zed is that Zed is a Mac thing only, which kind of limits it to me using my wife's laptop, and she gets cranky about that. So, anyways, this was interesting. I don't know how to read it. So I just thought I'd bring it up to you guys so you guys could comment, because I have no idea how to understand what that is. Talking about Rust, I saw this RedB or ReDB. I don't know how to pronounce that. A simple, portable, highly performant, ACID embedded key value store. Enabled. I don't know why I was reading that as enabled. Embedded key value store. So basically, you can think of this as the SQLite of key value. Yeah. So it's written in pure Rust. I think is a good learning experience. You can go look through this stuff. It's pretty awesome. I have a GitHub or a video thing on making a DB in Rust, thinking about it. It's not necessarily, right now it's a key value store, but it's not necessarily meant to be a key value store. This is also all in memory, which is a highly different topic. Yeah, anyways, it's cool. And I was looking at this. I was looking at some of their code, seeing some of the things that they did, getting some ideas, because I didn't like how I was doing some things in Rust with file system, and I wanted to see some examples. That's how I stumbled upon this, and so I thought that was good. All right. I only have a little bit more time left. Do I do this? Pair programming, best practices and tools. I was going to go over this for the final, but I actually think I'm running out of time. So I think I'm going to have to call it and not run through all of this. My article that I found, I'm notoriously not anti-pair programming, but anti-only pair programming. I actually love leveraging pair programming in like for an hour a day. I do not like pair programming all the time, every day. I think like utilizing it in small doses is really fantastic. I don't like the constant. That's kind of my stance in general. So I thought this would be interesting to read the best practices and tools. Maybe I've been doing some of it wrong. I know that it's usually a love-hate. I'm kind of in the middle, which I find I'm probably very few. I usually find people that either love it or hate it. Yeah, pair when you're stuck or confused. There's like two things. Pair when you're stuck or confused. So I actually love it when like a very senior pairs with a very junior on a problem that they're stuck on, because it's a great way for the junior to learn, to think how the senior thinks through that. Or just if you're stuck, even if you're as a senior, pair with that junior programmer, because they're going to watch and they're going to ask you questions. And sometimes the questions they may ask you make you realize what you've done. I believe that's happened on Twitch while I've been programming with you guys. The other reason is for like really critical stuff. So like at Aerospike, we have a database. And so there'll be pair programming sessions when it's like, hey, this is the thing that's going to break everything if it's not done perfectly. And let's have two sets of eyes on this. Or I've even seen three. And that yeah, I feel like there's like two things, but yeah. Yeah, I like that. Pair with an AI mostly. I think I would actually argue that the AI tools aren't there to pair with an AI mostly at this point, Russell. I feel like I'll hold this judgment till after next week. Now, I do have an important announcement for next week. I am releasing some tweets. I will release one Friday. I released one today. If you guys do want to help, I'd love for a lot of people to join on Saturday. We're going to start at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm going to go all day. I am not going to do the news next week because I'm either going to be tired out or I'm going to have to stream Sunday as well to finish the AI games. But we're going to be doing them next week. And yeah, so that being said, going all out on that. Going to be streaming quite a few days this week as well, probably in the morning my time, to try to make sure that we're all prepared for the AI games next week. That will be running some experiments, making sure that the prompts are as good as we can possibly get them, and some other things like that. So I'm going to be releasing a tweet on Friday, and I will release one on Saturday morning. If you want to help share, you can like or retweet them or whatever you want. If you guys think that it's going to be fun, we're going to learn a lot, yeah, we're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn a lot, and hopefully everybody will get a video out of it. I also have some videos coming out. One's fully edited. The next Rust one is recorded, not edited yet, but that one edits pretty quickly. So we'll have some videos this week as well, and we're going to have this on Saturday. So anyways, after this Saturday, Russell, I'll tell you whether AIs are up to the task of being your AI pair. Can we do the Mockingjay salute when our I don't know what the Mockingjay salute is, or where this comes from. I'm asking Bard. What if... Oh, it's from the Hunger Games. That's acceptable. 100% acceptable. I'll have to go watch one of the movies this week to make sure I know how to do it. 100% we need a mocking. You know what? I will get that done this week. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a Mockingjay salute. I'll have to look at fair use. We'll have to do some sort of Mockingjay salute emote. Yeah. So whenever there's a fail, we should have an emote. For I don't know if followers get the emotes or not. I'm not very good at Twitch. I'll figure that out though, and we'll see. I'll see if I cannot get some sort of Mockingjay salute. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. We need something fun like that. Probably get banned for... We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I need to get going. It is Father's Day. I have dinner to cook with the family. Thank you everyone for joining. I think Saturday is going to be a lot of fun. I'm planning on the whole day, or at least 6 hours, and we'll file over to Sunday if it needs to be. Be careful as it's close to a very dodgy salute. Did you know the when did you know that when we saluted the flag before World War II a while ago in the U.S., it also looked like I guess what could be called a dodgy. It wasn't then, it wasn't then, but it definitely was after. And they're very much different now. Now it's just hand over your heart instead of what we used to do. It's interesting to 100 years ago that was fine, but yeah. We will find something. We will have an emote for at least subscribers. Again, I don't know who gets access to it. That's going to be there for fails, for AI fails specifically, because we have AI fails when we're programming anyways, so it'd be a good emote to have. I think that's a fantastic emote. I'm excited about that because I haven't really had any emotes. All right, anyways, thank you very much. Have yourself a fantastic week. I'll be on streaming more often this week because I have a lot of Probably actually in the mornings, not in the evenings. Evenings I'll be doing video work. But yeah, so I'll hopefully see you guys more this week. All right, that's it for me. Bye, everyone. Thank you very much, and see you next week.